This video has been made possible by Rebusfarm, the professional render service.
Hey guys, and welcome back. Well, before we jump into today's tutorial, I just want to say thank you. And I'm thanking you guys for this right here. I just hit 37,000 subscribers and I'm really psyched about that. So once again, thank you guys, okay? So for today's video, I received a question to do a model of a medieval chair. Now, I did receive a reference image, but I decided to go with a slightly different design. So hopefully you guys like it. So let's jump in and have some fun. Here we go. Right guys, let's do this. We are going to start with our medieval chair, and for that we need to start by creating a curve. Okay, so we're going to go to our front view, we're going to go up to create, we're going to go to curve tools, CV curve tool, and we're going to start to roughly outline where we want to be. Okay, now I'm going to hold down the X to snap my vertices. So I got one there, and we're just going to start to create a flow that looks reasonable. Let's see here. I'm eyeballing it, so trying to keep this good. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay. So we're going to hit enter. We got a nice line there. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate it, W to move it over. We're going to hit E to rotate it and hold down J as we do that to snap it in sections of 15 degrees until we are perfectly at 90. And then we're going to bring that back in, and we're going to kind of decide on what our symmetry will be. And this looks about right. Let's just have a look. Yeah, that looks fine. Okay. So now that we have that, we kind of have an idea whether we're good or not. We don't necessarily need this second curve. I just wanted to see if the shape looked okay. All right. So we're going to take this guy, we're going to get rid of it, and we're going to use this one to create our initial shape. All right. So for that, we'll take a polygon cube. We're going to move that down and move that in towards the, let's see, I started my curve up here, so I have to start here. Okay, so we're just going to get that one close to the top of our curve here, like so. And then we're going to go in, hit F to zoom in, and we're going to right click at a face. Select all faces with the exception of that one. Okay. Now on this guy we need to decide how the dimensions will be. So we're going to hit R. Make sure I'm in object mode here. Yeah. And we kind of need to decide how thick we want one section to be. Maybe this. Looks about right. Okay, so we're going to right click at a face, we're going to select that face, we're going to shift select that curve, we're going to hit Control E to extrude, and as we do that you can see it's shooting down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start to increase the divisions. So we're going to hold down our Control key and left click and drag on those divisions, and as we do that, and you can also release that Control key and just do it like this. So depending on how high poly you want this to be, you can increase that if you like. We can smooth it later on, so we should be good. So I'm going to right click go to object mode. I'm going to go to edit delete by type history, which gets rid of our curve. Okay. And then if we want to smooth this, what we'll do is we'll go in to insert edge loop, option box, single setting. We're going to go in, we'll add one up here to kind of hold that shape, and we'll add one down here. Hit Q on our keyboard, right click object mode, and 3 to preview smooth. which will give us something like this, but the sides are a bit too soft for something of that age, being in wood and so forth. So we're going to hit 1 to go back. We're going to go to insert edge loop again. Let's put one in here. Put one in here, just to maintain that shape. All right. Q on a keyboard, object mode, and 3 to preview smooth. Looks much better, considering that this is supposed to be wood, right? Okay. So we're going to hit 1 to unsmooth, or unpreview smooth. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hit Control D to duplicate this guy. Hit W to move it over. And we want to consider one thickness. So what I mean by that is we have it duplicated. We're going to move this over. So we now know what the spacing is, right? Okay. Then we're going to go back in here. We're going to take this guy. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate. And with W, we're going to move it over until we have the perfect spacing. At least we think so. And then we're going to hit Shift D to duplicate. That should work, but it didn't. So let's try that again. Take this one, Control D to duplicate, move that over like so. And then now if we hit Shift D, this should work. And it doesn't. Not sure why. It should. So we'll try a slightly different approach. Okay. We'll just take these two. We'll hit Control D. We'll move that over until we have a good spacing between the two. And then we'll hit Shift D. We'll do it again. And you don't want the opening between the slats to be too perfect. I'll just hit Control D and do it like this. After all, it is a medieval chair, so you don't want to look, you don't want it to look fake. Okay. So now that we have that, we can take these guys that are in the middle. And we'll get rid of that one as well, I think. Yeah. And just delete those. So we're good on that. All right. Then we're going to drag select. We're going to go to mesh and combine, and we'll do modify and center pivot. Then we're going to hit Control D to duplicate, E to rotate, hold down J as we do that. And now that we're at 90 degrees, we have to go back in, hit W, and move these slats into the middle here until we are satisfied with the way that looks. So that will be the initial frame for our chair. Okay, symmetry is good. We can, if we like, decide to take this and move it over a bit. Looks a little bit more realistic. Yeah, it's fine. And then we need to consider how we are going to set the seating section up. Okay. Now the way that works is we'll take another polygon cube. I'll hit R. I'll flatten that and pull that out a little bit. W to push that down and move that over. So the way that works is we're going to have little sections of wood moving from here to here, and I'll just hit Control D to duplicate this guy so I can show you. We'll move this over, the duplicate, E to rotate, hold down J to snap around, W to move out, and I'm going to hold down X to snap it to our grid. V, sorry. Come on. Let's try that from the top. That's the one I want. X, sorry. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to move that in. First, we're going to make sure it's not as square as it is right now. So we're going to go and insert edge loop. We'll do multiple and we'll do 2. Okay, we're going to add 2 right there, hit R and scale them out close to the end. Okay, and then we'll hit G to repeat last command. Come on. And R to scale out. Q on our keyboard, right click object mode, hit 3 to preview smooth. So that one looks fine. Okay. So the way we're going to do this is first we're going to get rid of this little cube here. This one we need to consider the exact height, but we'll do that in a sec. So we're going to hit W. We're going to start to pull this up. Let's have a look from this view here. And we kind of need to consider the seat height. Okay. So I'm going to go with something like this. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring that in to here. So it's resting right there. Okay. And then this guy will be the support on both ends. So we're going to bring that up. Hopefully this makes sense. Okay, and I'm going to bring that in a little. And these can be a bit narrower, so we're going to hit R, we're going to bring them in, make them a little bit more square. Hit W and bring them in like so, right? And then we can take this guy, right click to vertex, drag select, and just bring the whole thing in so it's just sticking out like that. All right. Then we'll take this guy, we're going to hit Control D to duplicate it, W to move that over. So we're going to have the same deal at this end. Okay. And then we're going to go in, we're going to take these two. Let's try that again. Object mode, 1 and 2. Push them back. So from this end we're good. Then we're gonna right click and get a vertex, drag like this. I'll just combine them, hang on. Mesh, combine. Come on, what's that all about? Drag select and drag select. Hit W, bring that back in like so. So these two are in place, that's perfect. Then we're going to take this guy and we're going to bring that into position as our first one. And that one seems to be alright. Let's hit 4 for wireframe mode so we can see if it's nice and centered. Looks like it is. Then we're going to hit Control D to duplicate. We're going to move that over like so. Hit Shift D. Correct that one a little. Shift D. That one looks okay. Shift D. Still looks okay. Shift D. Shift D. We're going to adjust that one. Like I said, we're trying to avoid perfect symmetry. Shift D. That one looks okay. Shift D, let's adjust that one. Shift D and Shift D and Shift D. And that's it, okay? Not quite there yet, because now we need to align these wood sections. So we're going to take this one, this one, this one, and we're just going to skip one, and so forth. And these are going to move in this direction, as we did before with the other one. Okay, which will give you this seat right here. That's kind of the principle of how that works. Okay. Now we need to create a backrest. We need armrests as well. So we're going to create those. Let's start with the sections on the floor here. For that, we'll take a simple polygon cube. We'll hit R to pull that out and flatten it maybe and stretch it out a little. W to bring that in. I'm going to look at it from the top. Okay, let's see if we can get this guy correct in length position. Hit R. It's okay that it's sticking out a little, but not too much. We're going to hit W, we're going to bring that down. Okay, we're going to go to Injured Edge Loop, which is still on 2, I think, yeah. Add 2, hit R to scale them out to the end. Then we're going to go and do that again. R to push them out to the end. Q on a keyboard, object mode. 3 to preview smooth, it looks fine. So we're going to Control D to duplicate that guy. We're going to W to move that over. And let's have a look and see if it's sitting okay. Looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to take them both and just push them up slightly. Alright, and then we're going to do a couple of things here. First, we're going to drag select all of this, and we're going to go to Mesh and Combine, and then we're going to go to Mesh and Smooth to actually smooth our chair so far. Okay. Alright, cool. So now we are going to do the armrest. Actually, let's start with our backrest first. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a polygon cube. We're going to hit W. We're going to bring that up and back. And this is a bit tricky. Actually, no, we're not going to do this first. We're going to do the armrest first. So we're going to hit R. We're going to stretch this out. Let's push this down and make it a bit wider. W to move this out, like so. And the reason why is our backrest will be leaning on this guy here. Okay. So we're going to bring that forward. And we want it to stick out a little, but not too much. Let's do this. It's just about centered here, looks like. So that part is sticking out, maybe a little bit too much. Alright, so I'm going to right click on a vertex, I'm going to drag select these and pull that a little bit back. And then here I'm going to go into Injured Edge Loop once again. We're going to do single setting, and we'll push that in probably around here or so. Q on a keyboard, right click face, Control E to extrude, W to pull out. Like so. And then we're gonna right click on a vertex, drag select these two, and bring that forward like that. And then we're gonna go back in, we're gonna, not that. We're gonna go back into edge loop. We'll do them manually, that's fine. Okay. So one here, We'll do one around here just to hold that shape a little, and then we'll do one here and one here. Q on a keyboard, right click object mode, and 3 to preview smooth. Looks fine. So we're going to go to mesh and smooth to actually smooth. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hit Control D to duplicate, E to rotate, hold down J, and then hit W and move that over to this end. Let's make sure that this is sitting correctly by looking at it from a few angles. All right. So now that we have that, it's time for our backrest. And for that, we'll take another polygon cube. We'll pull that up, push that back, hit R to stretch that out, like so. Let's have a look from this view and make sure that it's centered. It is. We're going to hit W to push that back. We're going to hit R to scale it in, and we're going to hit 4 for wireframe mode because we kind of need to see how far the backrest end is sticking out. So hit W to move back, right there. A little bit more than that. We're going to hit R, we're going to have it stretched out just slightly. Okay, we're going to do with the thickness a little bit, bring that in like so. And then we're going to go in, yeah, whatever. We're going to go in and make sure we're still at manual setting here. Yeah, we are. Let's go in, and I'm just trying to see if I can do it here. Yeah, that's fine. One there, one there, one there, and one there. Q on our keyboard. We're gonna right click at a face. We're gonna select these faces like so. Hit Control E to extrude and W to push down. And I'm just looking at how far we want to do that. That's about right. Just looking to see whether I need to bring them in a little, but they're not too bad, so that's okay. Then we need to create a little bit of decoration. So let's see, we'll do multiple and 1, which will give us a perfect center. And then we'll go back in and we'll do 3, and then we'll do 3 here and 3 here, like so. We'll hit Q on our keyboard, and then we're going to right click and go to vertex, drag, select that center vertex, hit W and pull that up. And then we'll drag select this one and that one. We'll push them down like so. That looks fine. And then we're going to do a similar thing to the top here. And I'm probably going to do that from this view. Let's see, we'll take 1, 2, 3. We'll take these. Bring them up to about here. Then we'll take these 3, bring them up to here, take that middle one and bring that one down like so. And then we'll take these 2 and these, and that seems to be a little off, but we'll see. It is, not sure why. Just give me a sec while I check to see what that issue is. I have an, oh, there you go. This end is sticking out way too far. That's the problem. Not sure why, but it is what it is. Okay, so right click vertex. That needs to come into about here. All right, so we're gonna take these two and these two, and let's bring that up like so, right? Now we need to add some edge loops because we're gonna smooth this out. So let's see. Come on. There we go. We'll put one in here. We'll put one in here. Let's put one in here. And one down here. This should be okay. We're going to hit Q on our keyboard, right click object mode and 3 to preview smooth, which looks nice. Okay, let's see if there's anything we can do to just kind of emphasize that a little bit. So what we'll do is we'll right click, go to vertex. I'm just going to pull these down a little bit more. And I'm thinking about taking the one in the middle, just that, and do that as well. Kind of looks more, I don't know, I think the right word is kind of regal or something. Okay, right click object mode, 3 to preview smooth. Yeah, looks better. Okay. So we're going to go to mesh and smooth to actually smooth. And then we're going to drag select the whole thing, mesh and combine. Okay. Now this is basically our chair, guys. Now the thing here is, if you want to texture this guy, be aware that you need to UV all individual parts. If you do not, you will see a lot of wood repetition. And that's something that you don't want. Okay, so I'm gonna conclude the video right here. I'll do some texturing here just to make the thumbnail look pretty, but you know, going through the UV process is not, you know, what this is all about. All right, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this modeling tutorial. If you have any questions, let me know as always. And that said, thank you guys for watching and see you guys next time. Bye.